Y'all know what it is. Jay Williams, Let's Live Life, and we're back. Some of the worst tattoos I saw while in prison. Some of the dumbest ideas for tattoos I saw while in prison. Some of the grimiest tattoo artists I met while in prison. Dudes getting revenge with that tattoo gun in their hand and your body as a means of getting their revenge. I've seen a lot of crazy things when it comes to tattoos. I did a lot of crazy tattoos, saw a lot of crazy tattoos, saw a lot of messed up tattoos. Y'all know I done seen it. You know I done lived it. So let's relive it. Now what I'm about to say should not be rocket science. Shouldn't come as a surprise. Common sense should explain what I'm about to say. If you're going to allow someone to tattoo you, you have to have trust. If you're going to allow somebody to tattoo you, you and this guy have not feuded in the past. You cannot have had issues with this man because you are entrusting something that is going to be, forever on your skin in his hands. You wouldn't go to get your heart operated on by somebody that didn't like you. You wouldn't go to a dentist that didn't like you. Even though you expect people to be professional, you wouldn't go to a dentist that didn't like you and have them mess around and pull one of your front teeth being funny. When it comes to prison, dudes will do whatever they have to do to get at you. Whether it be lie on you, set you up, put something in your cell. There's so many different ways a guy can get at you while you were in prison to keep you from ever knowing it was him that got at you. But there's no easier way or damaging way than being the tattoo man and completely messing somebody's tattoo up or doing something out of spite. First story I'm going to give y'all is on a guy named Bobby. Bobby was a cool dude, man. Bobby was Bobby was a character, to say the least. A middle-aged white guy. And Bobby had a thing that he didn't care who it was, he would tattoo them. There were gay guys that had AIDS that I wouldn't tattoo, and it was just because of the high risk factor. And for the most part, you don't know everybody, but for the most part, who's got AIDS, HIV, things like that. Because you see the pill window, which is where people go get their pills, and you see the line. Certain guys will get magazines that, living with AIDS, men with AIDS, little things like that. You can look at people and be like, damn, he looks sick. Bobby didn't care. Bobby was all about $1. He would tattoo these dudes. Me, I'm not tattooing them. Say something happens and I accidentally hit myself with their needle. I stand a chance of contracting whatever this person may have. So I would, if you didn't look sick, you wasn't healthy, I didn't like you, I wouldn't tattoo you. Bobby didn't care. Bobby would tattoo anybody. There's a dude in our pod, in particular, I don't remember the dude's name, but he was a white dude. Nobody liked the dude. Dude liked to joke all the time, always playing with people. He was the ha-ha, kiki. We call it bidding. He would like to bid off people. Or you'd be like, bro, you ain't going to be bidding off me. Bidding means when somebody's using you to pass their time. They're making fun of you to pass their time. This dude would bid off people. He bid off Bobby. Anybody. He'd gotten several little issues behind it, but didn't stop him. He still did it. Well, he comes to Bobby and he's got this picture of like this statue. It looks like one of those old Greek gods. The statues you see of Zeus standing there naked and he's all flexed up and, or you might see another statue and it's like all cracked up and the statue's all flexed up. Well, he wants this big like Greek statue tattooed on his back. And on the statue's got like a leaf where your crotch area is supposed to be, like, I guess, a fig leaf or something. Beast ass tattoo, right? Bobby was good with the realism, making stuff look just like the picture. So dude comes to me with the tattoo. I didn't like the dude. He joked too much. I didn't want him in my cell. All money ain't good money. Just because you're trying to pay good money don't mean I'm going to do your tattoo. I turned it down. A couple other people turned it down. He goes to Bobby. Bobby's like, yeah, I can do it. I got you. I had seen some other crazy things Bobby had did, and we'll get into that. But this was probably by far one of the craziest. Him and Bobby agree on the price. Bobby tells him when they're going to get started, what day, what time, after count, blah, blah, blah. You know, bring the money in advance. This is what I want. Here's the list of commissary items I want you to bring me. If it ain't all there, I'm not even starting. Once you bring me the commissary, you know, then we'll get started. He pays Bobby. Bobby goes ahead and inks up his pattern. That means, you know, so he can transfer it to his skin. And the dude goes on in Bobby's cell. Bobby starts outlining. Bobby does, you know, the basic, all the bold lines on the tattoo to begin with. And then the center, like the detail in the chest and the fig leaf and some of the face, Bobby hadn't put in yet. You know, he said, look, I'll freehand it in. It's an easy tattoo. So all the line work on dude's back heals up. He goes in, and now Bobby's going to add the little features that make the tattoo what it is. Do all the shading that's going to bring the tattoo to life, right? They take a break. I guess dude's back is killing him, and the back is not a nice place. Like, my back is tattooed all the way down to like a little bit below my boxer line. Back hurts, especially the lower back. It hurts, right? So Bobby, they take a break, and you know, dude, it's just not. It's hurting. Like, let's take 5 minutes. So I go over to the cell, just, you know, check in, see what it looks like. And as I'm looking, right then and right there, I see what Bobby did. Dude's like, how's it looking? You can't see the tattoo on your back. We have a piece of stainless steel on the wall that's polished. That's supposed to be your mirror. And then they sell these little flexible mirrors on the commissary that you can use, right? Like a laminated piece of plastic. Dude's trying to see his back, but he can't really, you know, look and see it with this little mirror. So he's like, how's it look, right? Ask me how's it looks, and I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. I walk off. I go tell my cellmate, I say, yo, Bobby's wilding. He's like, what'd he do? What'd he do? What'd he do? I said, man, you got to go over there and see. I was like, but wait till he's done, man, because I don't want you to draw no attention. Bobby finishes up the tattoo, and he's smiling. We go over there, and I'm looking. Where the fig leaf was supposed to go, Bobby tattooed a little tiny penis and a little tiny set of nuts on this big giant statue on this dude's back. The leaf was supposed to be there so that, you know, you didn't see all the private parts. Nah. Bobby thought, this is what Bobby tried to argue with dude. You don't ever see the statue without the privates. He put the world's smallest penis and smallest set of balls on this big, massive statue on this dude's back. Some inmates are just stupid. Some guys think they got all the sense, but realistically, they're idiots. I'm not sure if I told y'all this story, but I had a dude come to me one time, and he wanted his daughter's name. I was cool with dude. Never had no issues with him. He was a know-it-all, but he wasn't really a trouble starter. He wasn't nobody special. Dude hadn't been in prison long. I had been in prison many, many years when I met this dude. And he brings me this little piece of paper with his name written on it. And he tells me he wants his name to start huge, from one side of his throat all the way under the other side of his throat, from like behind one ear, all the way across the front of his throat. It's his daughter's name. I tell him, you know, I don't think it's a good idea. I mean, getting a family member's name, your daughter's name, hey, that's not a bad idea. That's a good tattoo. It's somebody you love. I said, I just don't think it's a good idea to put a name all the way, you know, across the front of your throat. It's going to look like a big Etch-a-Sketch. You know what I mean? There's so much more you could do. You could actually put art, different things on your throat to do your throat sleeve. If you put a big-ass tattoo like this, it's going to almost look like a collar. Nah, that's what I want to do. I want to do my daughter's name. So I said, all right. So I drew his daughter's name up just like he gave it to me in like this West Coast style lettering. Beautiful tattoo, right? I show him the pattern. Yeah, most definitely. Let's do it. Like any other tattoo, we set the date, set the time. He comes in. I have him lay on the bunk. He lays back. I tell him, I need you to lean your neck back a little bit. He leans his neck. I set the pattern on. I let the pattern dry, and I tell him, you're going to have to stretch your head way back. And neck tattoos, I can tell you this from experience, suck. Especially when you're doing your whole throat. It's not so much the pain. It's just it's uncomfortable that while you're getting tattooed, the skin has to be stretched. So the entire time somebody's tattooing your neck, it's almost like you're being choked. Because they're trying to stretch the skin and do this and do that to, get the ink to lay and the lines to be crisp. So from personal experience and having my throat done, it sucked. It just sucked having somebody's hand around my throat that long while they were tattooing. Dude lays back on the bunk. I have somebody watch. Everything's set up. Boom, I jump into it. Tattoo the name. I do the outline. Go across his throat. Wipe everything down real good. Soap it up so I can see what I'm working with. Tighten a couple of the lines up. Add some bold lines here and there, right? Then I go back and start doing the inside shading, the shading around it. And everybody sees this tattoo and they're like, man, that shit is fire. Like, that's probably one of the hardest neck tattoos I've seen done. I was proud of the tattoo. The tattoo looked good, to say the least, man. Like, amazing. And I was more proud because I was nervous on the placement of it, because you can put something somewhere and it looks one way, and then when you change, like the way you move, tattoos change as well. The neck is one of those places that'll do that, right? But no matter how he moved or what he did, it was still clearly, you get legible, you could read it. It stayed good, it looked good. He's excited. Baby mama's coming to see him, daughter's coming to see him. He ain't seen neither one of them in a while. He goes over to the visitation room. He's done had to duck the guards for a while now until this tattoo heals up, because if they see you with a fresh tattoo on you, you're going to get an institutional charge. You're going to get rolled up, He ducks the police. By the time they see the tattoo is healed, there's not much they can do about it. They can't prove it's fresh. He argues. He's had it. He slides underneath the radar, right? Goes on over to the visitation room. Told me, I'm going to the visitation room today. My daughter and, my girl's coming to see me, man. She gonna be so psyched to see this. Like, I can't wait for my little girl to see, like, I guess, like, how much he loves his little girl. Boom, he leaves out, goes to his visit. Going about my day. I go outside. I'm lifting weights. My rec ends. I come in, go to the shower, go to my cell, and dude comes back from his visit. Dude beelines straight to my cell. He doesn't go to his cell. Usually when you come back and you visit, you'll go over, you'll take your blue shirt off, go in your cell, hang it up, take a couple minutes to yourself. It sucks to see somebody you love and then have to see somebody you love leave. So for some guys, they might need a couple minutes after the visit, or they might go chop it up with their homeboys. Yeah, man, they was talking about this, and it was good to see him. No, he heads straight to my cell. He gets there and he's like, bro, you fucked my tattoo up. I'm like, what you mean I fucked your tattoo up? He's like, man, you fucked my tattoo up. I'm like, what did you talking about? I fucked your tattoo up. He's like, man, you misspelled my daughter's name. I said, what? He was like, man, my baby mama told me. He's like, I showed my baby mama. My baby mama looked at me and pretty much told him, you got to be the dumbest motherfucker I ever met in my life. She's like, wow, what's wrong? What's wrong? She's like, that ain't even how you spell your daughter's name, stupid. He comes to my cell thinking I misspelled his daughter's name. I'm one of them guys that had a bad habit. This is something you don't want to do, but I had a bad habit of keeping people's patterns. Like, say I did a tattoo on you, the pattern I drew up, I would keep it. It would be in a folder under my mat, or bam, it in an envelope box. Just so happened I had the little piece of paper he brought me that he wrote down his daughter's name. He spelled his daughter's name. I spelled his daughter's name the exact same way he wrote it on the paper. This dude has a tattoo to this day of his daughter's name that goes all the way across the front of his throat that is misspelled. He's like, bro, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I said, shit, if I was you, I'd have another daughter, and that's how I'd spell her name. This ain't on me. This is on you. Some dumb ass people in prison. Now, the last story I got for y'all is messed up on so many different levels. We had a dude up Greensville, big dude. Like, when I mean big, just when you think of big, he was big. One of them dudes just got arms like the size of my head. That had gotten to his beefs, but it seemed like every time he got to beefing with somebody or fighting with somebody, there was somebody way smaller than him. He was never one of those dudes to clash head to head with another big guy. He would always beat up somebody smaller than him, take something from somebody smaller than him. He was just your basic bully, man. He preyed on the younger, the weaker, the guys that weren't his size. The night before, and he had talked to the tattoo guy before I get into the night before, he had talked to the tattoo guy in our pod at the time about getting his city, where he's from, plastered across his back. And then he had like this silhouette of this gangster with a ski mask on and these guns and all this that he was going to get in the middle of his back. He had talked to the tattoo man about doing the tattoo. The problem is he had beat the tattoo man's cellmate up months prior. And it was unprovoked. It was stupid. It shouldn't have happened. But he did this being a bully. He goes to the tattoo guy and says, look, I want my shit to be fresh. I'm stepping out. I want the tattoo to be fresh. The night before I go home, I'm going to have you do my back, right? The tattoo guy don't like him. The tattoo guy had to sit in the cell and watch this little guy heal up. He had to watch this little guy get beat up. He had to, witness this big-ass dude beat this little guy up for next to nothing. Tattoo guy, I guess, didn't want no smoke. Told him, yeah, I'll do your tattoo, no problem. Told him this is what it's going to cost. You got to pay me in advance because this dude was known for bucking on people and not paying. So he pays the tattoo guy in advance. Something that kind of shocked all of us because we expected him to get the tattoo and then be like, I'm not paying for it. Dude wasn't dumb. You're going to pay in advance or I'm not doing your tattoo. This big dude goes in the cell. Dude puts a pattern on him, starts to tattooing, and I can hear him out in the pod. Everybody can hear him. He's, what are you doing? Dude's like, come on, man, you got to chill, man. I'm just tattooing you. Like, you're acting like a little curl right now. Like, you got to take this. This shit hurts so bad. Listen, man, you got to sit there and take this tattoo or you're going to have an unfinished tattoo on your back you're going to go home with, right? Takes this dude a couple hours. They start this before count, maybe 2.5 hours. Then you go in your cell and you lock down 4 count. That can be anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes, right? So now the dude's got to go sit in the cell with his back tattooed and wait an hour and 15 minutes and then start tattooing the same area again, which if you've got tattoos, that's terrible. That hurts so bad to dig back into something you just, that's starting to heal. He finishes dude's tattoo. Dude's walking around. He doesn't really care if he gets a charge for it. If the guards see it and write him up for it, he goes home tomorrow. Who cares? Big ass dude's walking around with his shirt off, showing everybody his back, showing the tattoo, and I can't lie. Dude did a good job on the tattoo, right? Big guy goes home the next day, and dude comes out and tells us what he did. He said, yeah, I did his tattoo, but it ain't gonna stay. I fucked him up. What do you mean you fucked him up? We have what's called a bird needle. And if you get hit with a bird needle, most needles are straight, very pointy at the end. Now that needle is so sharp that at the very tip of it bends like a fish hook, you can't really see it. So instead of it just going in the skin, it's going in the skin and it's popping the skin every time it's going in. It's damaging the skin. Damaging the skin. To get tattooed, and I've been hit with a bird needle before, to get tattooed with a bird needle is one of the most excruciating pains you can feel when it comes to getting tattooed. I had to have a dude one time, I said, yo, as soon as he started, I said, no, there's something wrong with the needle. He checked, ran it across his gloves, and it snagged. And he was like, oh shit, the needle's bird. He resharpened it, went back, everything was smooth. He had this dude sit in that cell for hours upon hours and tattooed all this stuff on his back with a bird needle. It gets worse. Instead of, even if you go back to ancient days, when they got tattooed, they would, some of the warriors would cut themselves and then rub soot in it. And as the wound healed, the soot would stay permanently. That's how they would tattoo. They would pluck it, poke it, all these different, methods that come along with tattooing in history. You have to have the soot. The soot is detrimental to the ink stand. The guy that tattooed him took an ink pen, several ink pens, and blew through the cartridge and blew the ink out of the ink pens and into a little bottle, mixed it with some water, and then poured that into his cap. That ink does not stay. If you think you're going to get an ink pen and start poking yourself with a needle with the ink out of an ink pen, it's all going to fall out. So not only did he butcher this guy, I'm sure when this guy got home, his whole back just turned into a giant, massive scab because it would destroy the skin. But not only did he butcher him, he tattooed him with some ink that he knew damn well was going to fall out. Never had to deal with that dude again. He went home thinking he was going to take his shirt off and walk around, only to go home and have hamburger meat all over his back and ink leaking out of the pores. Do I think dude deserve that? No. I think if you got a problem with somebody, you get at them. But you know what they say? There is no rules in war. There is no rules when it comes to a fight. And this guy decided he was going to win this war in a sneaky way. And by the time the guy found out what had happened, what was going on with his back, he was released and back to the streets. I told you, don't ever piss the tattoo man off. Might end up with a dick on your statue. Might end up with this, might end up with that. Might get some urine. You never know. Watch who you let tattoo you. So yeah, there you have it. Some of the worst tattoos I've seen, some of the grimiest things I've seen. All facts, all 100%, man. It's crazy when you think about the lengths people will go to do things, how stupid some people are, and how grimy some other guys can be. You better make sure that guy tattooing you is your friend, or that he's professional and wouldn't do nothing out of character. Anyway, y'all already know, man. These institutions, these jails, these prisons, detention centers are all just crazier worlds inside of this already crazy world we live in. And y'all know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to keep y'all entertained. Are you not entertained? And as always, this is Jay Williams. Let's live life. And to all my real ones, and there are some real ones watching, because y'all still watching me. Y'all know how we do. Salute.